beauty of the Astro-Synthesis Blend is manyfold, as you will see. But one of the beauties of it is that it's one of those blends that you could readily do for yourself. You don't need to do it for someone else. You don't need a subject. So you don't have, well, I don't know anybody. Well, you don't have to know anybody. You can do it for yourself. And it's very effective. It's a very deep acting blend if you know what you're doing, if you understand what the blend is. And so in order to understand what the blend is, you have to understand what the blend is not. And so today it's going to be this combination of what it is and what it is not. Now, before I get into what it is and what it is not, I will say that one of the things I discussed with Michelle Callio, who is a spiritual PhytoEssencing diploma candidate, and she's going to be in charge, I should say, or running or supervising the forum, which is a discussion group without me in the middle of it. It's just students, members, I guess, asking questions and discussing things and throwing things back and forth, ideas back and forth and so forth. And one of the things that I'm going to task her with is to really be there during the summer, because she's already done an Astro-Synthesis Blend. She just did recently, so she's very familiar with it. And so to ask questions, well, I'm doing this, I'm lost, or I did this, I don't know what I'm doing. And so she'll help you figure that out. So whatever else you people are going to discuss is, it's okay with me, whatever you want to do. But I do certainly encourage you to spend some time with the Astro-Synthesis Blend. One of the things that I find in all my years of teaching SPE is that there's a tremendous amount of interest in it, and people are fascinated by a lot of it, but it barely makes it off the ground from realization into actualization. So basically, if you don't work on yourself on a very deep level, you're going to get caught up in the undertow of the outer world. There's no break. There's no break coming. It's whatever you see now is there's just going to be something to replace it as soon as this starts to get to page 6. It's going to, something else will come and take its place. It's just the way the world is structured at this point, social media. With that said, let's just talk about what an Astro-Synthesis Blend is not before we get into what it is. What it is not, it's not an astrology blend. If I was to make an astrology blend, I'd be one of the worst people to create it, because I don't know almost anything about astrology. But what I did recognize about astrology is that it's archetypal, and that there were certain archetypes that I could use to create a specific type of archetypal way of getting to the core of a person's true inner nature, how to get there to that inner nature. Now, is there a potential for doing an astrology blend using SPE methodology? Absolutely, but you have to know astrology. You have to be trained in it. It's a very complex science. If you've ever looked at it or studied it, it's something a cross between metaphysics and mathematics. It's very complicated. So what I'm doing is I'm just using some simple archetypes and creating dialectics. And what this is a dialectical blend designed to be able to get a person to be able to glimpse some aspect of their core nature to bring them closer to their core nature. So don't be intimidated and say, wow, I don't know anything about astrology. Well, either do I. And I created this entire system. I will say that the way it's structured is that there are various different elements involved that you need, reference guides and so forth, in order to be able to do this. Other reference guides that you need to be able to do this, there are 3. The first one is one that I'm giving to everybody, which is the blending guide, how to actually do the blending, what the blueprint of how to blend is. So that comes as part of this. But there are 2 other guides. One is the Repertory of Essential Laws, the spiritual PhytoEssencing Repertory of Essential Laws, without which you cannot do this blend at all. There's no way. It's impossible. And number 2 is the Keynote, the SPE Astro-Synthesis Blend Keynotes reference guide. And I will show you what that is. It's close to 40 pages long, and it gives you a tremendous amount of information that you need to be able to do this blend. That will be, I'm going to have Sid post it up in the member zone for sale at some discount, because this whole package of the Astro-Synthesis Blend is going up on the website for general sale, which includes 2 hours of recordings that I did previously. And so if you want that, you can get all of that. But if you don't want all of that, you do need the Repertory and the Keynotes reference guide. And we will get to some of that. Now, with that said, knowing what it is not, let's get on to what it is. So in spiritual phytoessencing, the Astro-Synthesis blending method, you're creating a custom constitutional blend that resonates with a person's soul print. This, of course, is the zodiac out here in outer space. So like fingerprints, each soul is completely unique. Living within the context of one's true soul nature requires continuous connection with one's higher self. Happiness is the key to wellness. No unhappy person can truly be well. In turn, the key to happiness lies in accepting and living in accordance with one's soul print and having this soul print accepted by others. So this is similar to a fingerprint. Just like you have a unique fingerprint that nobody else has, you have a soul print. The SPE Astro-Synthesis Custom Blend is designed to elaborate 3 primary archetypal nexuses: sun sign, moon sign, forming a synthesis; rising sign, descendant sign, forming a synthesis, an archetypal nexus; north node, south node, forming an archetypal nexus, a synthesis, all of which are formative influences, the deepest archetypal structures around the eye, and those are inherent. So they're definitely inherent to a person's unique soul print. So if you understand how to actually make this blend, again, you're not doing an astrological chart, you're just using astrological archetypes to create a blend that resonates with your soul print.